Clara Bennett had always dreamed of a quiet wedding. Something timeless, in nature, with close friends, white roses, soft piano music, and the rustle of grape leaves whispering through the vineyard where she'd grown up. Everything had fallen into place. The weather was perfect. The sun dipped just low enough to cast a golden hue on the trellises. Her mother had spent the morning fixing Clara's curls just the way her late father used to like them. And by her side, as always, was Shadow. The black Labrador had been with Clara since she was 17, through college heartbreaks, the loss of her father, her move back to the family vineyard after law school, and then, eventually, through meeting Dylan. Dylan was everything she thought she wanted: charming, kind, and gentle with her mother. He loved wine and poetry and made her laugh on days she forgot how. After 2 years together, his proposal under the stars had felt like a promise fulfilled. But love, Clara would later learn, can wear many masks. As the piano began to play, Clara's hand tightened around her bouquet. Her heart was pounding, but not out of nerves. There had been something, a pressure in her chest, a heaviness she couldn't name. But this was her day, right? She took her first step forward. That's when Shadow barked. It wasn't the playful bark he used when chasing squirrels. It was urgent, piercing. Guests turned in confusion. Shadow stood firm, blocking the stone path that led through the vines to the altar. "Shadow, baby, what's wrong?" Clara whispered, trying to step around him. He blocked her again, growling now low and guttural. "Clara," her mother whispered behind her. "What's happening?" I don't know," Clara said, trying to mask the shaking in her voice. Dylan was waiting at the altar, visibly uncomfortable. "It's just nerves," he called out with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Let someone take him." But Clara wasn't listening. Shadow's eyes were locked on something. No, someone beyond the guests, to the far side of the vineyard fence. Then he turned and ran. Clara froze for only a second. Then instinct kicked in. She dropped her bouquet and followed. "Clara," voices cried behind her. The piano stopped. But she didn't care. The hem of her gown dragged in the dirt. Her shoes twisted in the soft grass. Still, she ran. Past the arbor. Past the guests. Toward the far end of the property, where the old fermentation shed leaned into the slope of the land like a forgotten secret. Shadow was waiting near the side of the shed. He barked once, sharp, then started pawing at the wooden wall. Clara stared. Behind the shed was nothing but rocky soil and overgrown bramble, or so she'd thought. Then she saw it. A hidden cellar door. One she hadn't seen in years. Her breath caught. Her father had always warned her to stay out of that space. "Not safe," he used to say. She'd forgotten it even existed. Shadow growled again. Heart pounding, Clara dropped to her knees, yanked away the weeds, and gripped the iron handle. The wood creaked. It smelled of mildew and rust. The hinges groaned in protest, but the door opened. Stale air hit her face. It smelled like damp earth, and something else. Metallic. Cold. She descended, slowly calling out, "Hello." Her voice echoed. Shadow padded behind her, his nails clicking on the stone steps. The cellar was dim, lit only by a flickering bulb strung from the ceiling. There were shelves of old wine crates, but something felt wrong. Her eyes adjusted. There, in the far corner, was a table. Papers. A camera. Dozens of photos. Pinned up. Laid out. Red strings connecting some. And then she saw her own face. Photos of her shopping. Driving. Walking Shadow. In her bedroom window. In the bath. Every detail of her life, documented. Dates. Times. Locations. Journals. Patterns. "No," she whispered. "No. No, no." Then she saw the handwriting. Neat, all caps, with certain loops she knew too well. Dylan's. Among the papers was a blueprint. Of the vineyard. Of her home. Circles drawn in red ink. Blind spot here. Her window. 3 a.m. She's starting to suspect. Her knees gave out. It wasn't love. It had never been love. It had been control. An obsession. A trap dressed in affection. Shadow pressed his warm head into her lap, grounding her. Clara pulled out her phone. Her hands were shaking as she dialed the police. The aftermath. The investigation unearthed everything. Dylan had legally changed his name. He had a sealed record in another state, stalking charges, a dismissed restraining order, and allegations that were never prosecuted. He'd created a new life here, with Clara as his new fixation. Her mother wept for weeks. Clara couldn't sleep for months. But she wasn't alone. Shadow slept beside her every night, never more than a few feet away. She often woke to his eyes watching the door. 6 months later, Clara stood in the same vineyard, not for a wedding, but for a gathering of a different kind. She wore a soft yellow dress. Her hair was down. Shadow sat beside her, tail gently sweeping the earth. "I should be on my honeymoon," she said to the guests with a small, wry smile. "But today, I'm here to thank my best friend. The one who saw the danger before anyone else. The one who loved me without a mask." She knelt and kissed the soft fur between Shadow's eyes. "You didn't just save my life," she whispered. "You saved my freedom, my future." The crowd clapped. Some wiped their eyes. Shadow barked once, proud. That night, as the stars bloomed over the vineyard and the wind moved gently through the vines, Clara sat on the porch, Shadow at her feet, sipping a glass of red wine her father had bottled years ago. The road ahead was unknown, but she was ready now. Because sometimes love doesn't speak in words. Sometimes it warns you. Sometimes it barks.